Guys, with the super fight Della Maddalena and Islam Makhachev less than a month away, I thought it would be fun to break down the fight and see both fighters' strengths and then talk about my prediction. Starting off with JDM, I think he needs to stop takedowns early. This is because Islam poses a serious threat to JDM with his wrestling, but if Jack keeps him standing in round one, he can wear him out. Additionally, we have seen Jack stuff takedowns from one of Islam's close friends and training partner Bilal Muhammad, and this led to Jack being able to piece him up. The next thing Maddalena needs to do is use his striking effectively. We have seen Islam in scrappy brawls such as with Volk and Dustin Poirier where he looked beatable. I would like to continue talking about Jack using his striking effectively because it is probably his key to victory. This is because Maddalena is arguably the greatest boxer in the UFC right now and could easily knock out Islam with one good strike. We have seen him showcasing this talent in his fights with Gilbert Burns and Bilal Muhammad. Now, for my last point about what JDM needs to do to defeat Islam is for him to use his wrestling, because Jack has very underrated wrestling and works well from the bottom position. We saw this in his fight with Bilal Muhammad. Now moving on to Islam Makhachev. For point number 1, I think Islam should prioritize wrestling because Bilal was able to take Jack down in their fight, and Islam's level of wrestling is 100 times better than Bilal's. The second thing that Islam needs to do is use his striking effectively. This is because Islam showed how he could handle strikers in some of his matches with the likes of Dustin, Volkanovski, and Charles Oliveira. For my last point about what Islam Makhachev needs to do in order to defeat Jack Della Maddalena is that he needs to use feints in their match. This is because Jack could fear Islam's takedown threat, and if Islam makes JDM think he is going for the takedown, he could get him into some vulnerable positions. Historically, strikers that fight grapplers normally fear the takedown threat to such an extent that the grapplers end up being able to outstrike the strikers. Now, I'm not saying that Jack will be the same, but it is something that Islam needs to think about. Now, for my personal prediction, I believe that Islam Makhachev will walk out of the fight a 2-division champion. I think this because I believe that Islam Makhachev is the more well-rounded fighter. Additionally, I think the people who predict Jack to win are basing this solely on the Bilal fight. But even in that fight, Bilal gave Jack some scares. So I think Islam will submit Jack in round 3. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate that. And also let me know your predictions for the fight.